If you're looking to get your finances together, then this video is for you. In this video, I'll be talking about the current system that I am currently using to budget, track, and manage all my money. Whether you're someone that currently doesn't really have any tool to manage your finances, or you might be someone that currently has something, but the system that you have might not be working so well and you're looking to upgrade. But before we talk about my current system that I'm using, I would like to touch base on the few basic points in order to know the ideal or the best method to manage your personal finance. I think it's good to really get an understanding of what is personal finance exactly. And personal finance is basically a management of the 5 main bubbles here. And the flow starts from obviously gaining an income, and the amount of your income will fall through to how much you are able to spend, to how much you're able to save or invest. And then last but not least, you have the protection point of view, which is protecting the wealth that you have generated. So when we're talking about personal finance and personal finance management, this is the entire picture. And I personally like to monitor and analyze this flow of my financial wealth on a month-to-month basis, and also forecast to see the impact of the current month to the future months. And this is where a lot of softwares that I've used or a lot of personal finance apps failed for me. I've used a lot of personal finance and money management apps in the past, but the 3 main ones that I'll be talking about today are the ones that I've tried, and I currently come to the conclusion that they are not the best for me. And they are actually the ones that are widely used in the UK, which are Monzo, Emma, and YNAB, or You Need a Budget. The first flaw that these apps share is that, first of all, although they let you budget your spending, however, they don't let you budget or forecast the amount of income you will be earning and from which income sources they will come from. Secondly, certain apps won't even let you budget into the future. For example, Emma and Monzo, you can budget your current month, however, they don't allow you to budget for the future months. Now, out of all the 3, I would say that YNAB has actually been the best one for us, and it's the ones that we've been using for the past few years. But YNAB also has this big flaw, which is that it doesn't really show you the impact of your overspending this month to the future months. So for example, last month I overspent on my dog because he had to go to accident and emergency, and we ended up having to pay more than normal for his medical care. And on YNAB, although I know the impact of my overspending this month, it doesn't really give me an accurate picture of where I will be in terms of my wealth, how much money I'm able to save by the end of the year. And that I find the inability to basically forecast my wealth or where I am going to be at the end of the year very troublesome, and that's the flaw that many of these apps share. But just because there's no perfect software, there's no perfect app, that doesn't mean that there is no perfect system. This is the reason why I am going back to the basic. I am going back to Excel spreadsheet. I've been using it for the past 2 quarters, and I am really happy with it because it really is such a great tool to help me understanding my finances better. So let me show you what my current system looks like. So first of all, let's start with budgeting. And we all know, if you've been here before, you know that every great personal finance journey starts with a budget. And if you haven't been here, a budget is basically what you plan to spend over the course of the month, quarter, or the year. And this is why I struggle with a lot of these personal finance apps, because it doesn't really tell me my saving rate for the year. But in my current system, and I call this the Plentiful Personal Budget and Tracker, it shows with absolute clarity how much you're actually budgeting in terms of income and which income sources it comes from, how much you're budgeting for your spending, and how much you're budgeting to save and invest for every single month. And it also shows you how much you can save and spend for the entire year. This is sort of a rough numbers based on my actual budget for the year 2022, by the way. And I actually made a video on budgeting, going in depth of my thought process of how I budget a couple of months ago, so feel free to check that out if you want to know more about budgeting. And if we were to refer back to the personal finance bubbles that we talked about at the beginning of the video, so that includes income, yes, which is exactly what we have on this budget here. There's also expenses, Yes, this budget also has it, and also saving and investment. So it actually includes all the essential part of personal finance management. So once the budget is out of the way, the next one is tracking the actual. So the purpose of personal finance or financial management is to know how much you have spent comparing to what you had budgeted for. So basically your actual spend comparing to what you plan to spend. You know, the same way it works in business. Every businesses will have a budgeted revenue, a budgeted cost, and budgeted net profit that they are looking to achieve for the year. And then they'll track their actual revenue, actual expenses, and actual net profit and compare that against the budget. And that is essentially what we're doing, but at a personal level. And therefore a budget is no use if you don't track your actual income, actual expenses, actual savings and investments. And I'm not going to tell you that you need to track every single thing that you spend, because you know how you track your finances and how you want to manage your finances is entirely up to you. Personally, I track every single pound that I spend, because that is one of the rules that I learned from using the app YNAB, or You Need a Budget, which is that you need to be budgeting every pound that you earn and tracking every single pound. Or well, YNAB is actually an American firm, so they use dollars. And I strongly believe that this rule really helped us save for our first 100K quite quickly, because we were literally planning how we are going to spend or save every single pound that we earn. And on the Plentiful template, you can just grab your bank statement in CSV format and copy and paste all of your transactions. And once you put all that information on there, then the template will automatically pull that information and onto the actual tab, which is the tab that you can see here. I'll also leave a link to the Plentiful personal budget and tracker in the description below. So if you want to get it, you can. I'll be selling this on Etsy, but if you go on my website, you can get it 30% cheaper, because if I'm going to get a discount to any small group of people, of course it will be you guys. And again, similar to the budget tab, the actual tabs also shows you the total that you earn for the month based on each individual category, the total spending that you spend in a month based on each individual category. It will also calculate your saving rate, your actual saving rate, comparing to your budgeted saving rate. And of course, as the month goes on, your total saving rate for the entire year will change depending on how much you have actually spent. And I find this whole full picture of personal finance that I can see that this tracker provides is just a lot more information that I need comparing to all other apps that I've used. And lastly, another cool feature that this tracker provides is the ability to analyze your finances based on month-to-date basis and year-to-date basis. So you can actually go back and look at your financial position at just literally any given point in time in the year. So for example, as I'm filming this, I am currently in November. So if I go to November, I'll be able to see exactly how much I have budgeted from January up to November and how much I have actually over or underspent, which means that I am able to react and replan my December budget based on my over or underspend of the previous months. Overall, I'm just really happy that I created this spreadsheet, and I'm really glad that I've been using it for the past couple of quarters. I just thought I would give you a quick update of what am I currently doing, what system I am currently using, in the hopes that these will add some values to how you currently track your finances. I'll see you in the next video.